Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the third match of the day here at the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. It is Quebec versus the Northeast Passage Wildcats Blue team. For ParaSportsLive, I'm Tony Jackson. And we are going to go through the lineups quickly here. For the Northeast Passage Wildcats on the floor, number 34, Keenan Weishadel. Also on the floor, number 32, Ryan Coy. Number 8, Carlos Avila. And rounding out the lineup, wearing the number 2 today, Robbie Dudsitz. For Quebec, on the floor right now, we have number 11, Charles Arsenault. Number 15, Patrice Semab. Also number 10, Guillaume Bouchard. And it looks like number 7, Steve Mastine. Avila and Bouchard are going to start out the match. And we are underway here, this third match of the day. Hope you have enjoyed all of the action that you've been watching so far. And Weishadel starts off the scoring here for the Northeast Passage Wildcats. And now racing down the floor, Mastine for Quebec, and Simad takes the ball. We're level at 1. Coy for the Wildcats. That ball down the floor, picked off by Mastine for Quebec. 12 seconds was just about up. So Dudsitz for Northeast Passage now going to send the ball in. And in for Ryan Coy. Number 22, Mike Wright. Weishadel has the ball. He tried to pass it around, and he did to Avila. That was very close. Avila got the ball, though. And that is a jump ball. And Quebec have possession, so they're going to inbound. Bouchard. That ball a little too heavy for Mastine, and Avila tries to pick it up for Northeast Passage. It's stuck under his wheel, and now Bouchard and Avila fight for the ball. It springs loose. Mastine going to pick it up for Quebec. And Quebec score another goal. It's now 3-2. Chadell for Northeast Passage. Wright is open to take from Weishadel. And that ball rolling out. Last touch by Quebec. Still Northeast Passage ball. Montreal, if you're just joining us, 3-2 the score right now. Dudsitz to Wright, who loses the ball. Can Northeast Passage get it back? Avila has it. He has to bring it up into his lap so as to not trap it, and he does. Wright gets the ball, and he's going to roll it over the goal line. We're now tied at 3. Patrice Semad for Quebec. The pass taken by Mastine. So now dude sits for the Wildcats into right. Right, passes to Weishadel. Oh, a little miscommunication, but Avila is there, but he loses the ball, and Arsenault and Avila fight for the ball. They're still scrambling for it. Avila comes away with it, and he passes over to right, and Mastine collide. So now right once again, starting up the attack for the Wildcats. And it looks like we're going to get a foul on Quebec. Let's see what the call is. Couldn't quite hear what the referee said, but that is certainly a foul on Quebec. So the Wildcats now trying to score. And they do. We're tied at 4. So Arsenault to Samad. Patrice Samad trying to get around Weishadel. Nicely done. And he races down the floor and collides with 2 Northeast Passage Wildcats. But Mastine gets the ball and scores another goal for Quebec. 5-4 the score. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Dude sits over to Avila, but that one wide of Avila. Not a good throw. And Quebec with an opportunity to widen their lead to 2. We're going to get a couple substitutions for Quebec coming into the match. Number 8, Dave Gagne, and number 52, Yannicka Lacoste. And so Gagne will throw in for Quebec. Simad trying to get around Avila. Simad passes to Mastine, and he can't control it. So the Wildcats will take the ball back again. Right disrupted Mastine, and so that's a turnover, and the Wildcats will throw in. Dude sits from the corner. Avila was free for a moment. Now Coy, who's back into the match for Weishadel, races down the floor. Simad tried to back into him to stop his momentum, but couldn't do it. So we're knotted at 5. Mastine racing down the floor. Avila trying to hold him off, and he does. Oh, and Avila goes over again. That is a goal for Quebec, but Carlos Avila takes another spill. If you watched our first match of the day, he went over a couple times. He's a really intense player and plays with a good amount of speed, so sometimes when you get turned a little bit as you're moving forward, you lose balance and you end up on the floor. So Avila back upright once again. Dude sits for the Wildcats over to right. Right to Avila. Samad going to cut it off though. But Coy, oh, he couldn't handle it either. The ball rolling out of bounds. Let's see if anybody can catch it. Mastine, Avila's there for the Wildcats. And we're going to get a timeout by Northeast Passage. Good hustle play. And the Wildcats with an opportunity to draw level again. Dude sits over to right. Will he get it before it goes out? Just a little too heavy. Right couldn't catch up to it. So Quebec is going to get the ball back with just over a minute to go here in this first quarter. So Quebec looking to extend their lead by 2. And Simad is there. It is now 7-5 Quebec. Coy racing down the floor. Ryan Coy stopped by Gagne. Nicely done. Mastin now joins the fray. Coy passes out to Avila. And that was a 10-second penalty on Blue. Coy did not dribble the ball or pass it out before 10 seconds were up. And so that is another turnover for Northeast Passage Quebec, with an opportunity here to extend their lead. They're already up by 2. Simad. Down the floor, he cuts right behind Avila. Nicely done. Gagne with the ball. Gagne, oh, and he gets turned around by Avila. Well done. Gagne going to try to back his way in over the line, and he does. 8-5 the score. Montreal leading the Wildcats. Excuse me, Quebec. Coy for the Wildcats, the long pass to Avila, and he's got enough speed to catch up to that, no problem. It's 8-6. Montreal still in the lead. Excuse me, Quebec. My apologies to everybody out there for getting the two teams mixed up. Simad, the long pass down the floor, but his teammate's not going to get there. Mike Wright stops the ball for the Wildcats, and he picks it up. He had no one in around him. So Wright for the Wildcats. Cuts behind Gagne. There was no goal there. The period had ended, so that was the conclusion of the first quarter. Montreal 8. Excuse me, Quebec 8. Northeast Passage 6. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will resume the second half. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin the second quarter here in this match between Quebec and the Northeast Passage Wildcats. You were watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage for ParaSportsLive. I'm Tony Jackson, and Quebec lead the Wildcats 8-6. And we are about to start the second quarter here in just a moment, as soon as we get the scoreboard sorted out. And into the match for the Wildcats, number 56, Rob Serafine. And we're going to get a foul on Avila. The referee calls a push on him. It was kind of hard to see from here if it was a legal hit or not, because you're not allowed to hit behind the wheel axle. So, and I think what the referee's actually calling is that he just shoved him out of the way. Avila came in with quite a lot of force. And so now Quebec with the ball. Mastine coming down the floor. Huge collision coming up. Avila and Mastine, but the ball makes its way over to Arsenault, who scores for Quebec. It is now 9-6. Quebec in the lead. Weishadel for the Wildcats. Passes into Avila. Avila making his way around, using that speed that we talked about earlier. Make his way through Mastine, and Avila collide once again, and Avila goes tumbling over. Once again, huge collision. Mastine and Avila. Two rockets on the collision course. It looks like we've got a turnover. That will be Quebec ball. So Bouchard into Simard. Patrice Simard. Trying to weave his way through, passes off to Mastine. And over to Arsenault, who is stopped by Avila. Nicely done. Coy almost stripped the ball. Arsenault holds on. Arsenault off to Samad, who's free. The pass out to Mastine. Mastine now going to take it in for a goal. Good teamwork there by Quebec. It's now 10-6. The lead is 4 over the Wildcats. Coy for the Wildcats now takes the ball up the floor, and he loses it. And the officials, it looked like they were calling it in favor of Northeast Passage, and Weishadel is going to take the ball for the Wildcats. Coy passes the ball up the floor to Avila. Oh, Samad tries to take it away, but Avila's right there. Avila trying to pass it out to Serafine or Coy. There's the pass to Ryan Coy. Coy has the dribble. Every 10 seconds you must dribble if you have the ball. 7 seconds. Oh, and there's a pass. It was intended for Serafine, but it went right to Samad. And now Quebec with an opportunity to score again and increase their lead. And Arsenault will do the honors for Quebec. It is now 11-6. And this match started out quite even, but Quebec has really started to assert themselves here as they've rattled off a few points in a row. Weishadel loses the ball. He couldn't hang on to that one. It's going to go out in favor of Quebec. Samad bringing the ball back in. Samad, nice pass to Asano, but too far ahead. Good vision by Samad, but just a little bit too far away from Asano, and the Wildcats will take the ball. Coy releases to Weishadel. Keenan Weishadel now looking to cross over the center line. He just made it. Weissel's trapped in that ball. Loose. Samad's going to pick it up for Quebec, and they are now up 12-6. Quebec really taking advantage of mistakes from the Wildcats. And they are out in front of Vila now for Northeast Passage. Just going to use his speed to get around everybody and finally get a point for the Wildcats. It's now 12-7. Samad, the pass to Mustine. Weishadel comes in to try to hold him off. He can't do it, so Mustine scores. It's 13-7, Quebec. In a timeout called. And Northeast Passage really struggling to maintain control of the ball and get any kind of offensive rhythm going. And we see it here by the score. Quebec up 13-7. We're going to get a couple substitutions for Quebec. Back into the match, number 8, Dave Gagne, and number 52, Yannicka Lacoste. Northeast Passage Wildcats kind of huddled around each other, trying to figure out what to do here. They're down by 6. Just under 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Would like to thank everybody who is joining us on this ParaSportsLive presentation of the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. Robbie Dutsitz back in for the Wildcats. He's going to toss in the inbounding pass. Looks like we're just trying to get the clock back in order. It is now in order. The shot clock is at 31 seconds. Avila takes the ball. Avila trying to work his way around Mustine. He can't do it, so he's got to swing around the other way. Mustine. Simad trying to hold off Avila. Mike Wright takes the ball. Nice pass from Avila. But the Quebec defense is strong. And now Simad. The pass off to Mustine. Avila going to try to outrace Mustine, and he just decides to let him score a goal. It's 14-7 Quebec. Right with the ball, trying to get around the Quebec defense. Right, just trying to work his way through. He gets stopped, but he finds a space and scores. It is now 14-8. Looks like Mustine getting his wheel fitted back on there. Gagne with the ball. Avila giving chase, and he knows he can catch Gagne. Can he stop him though? No, he can't. Carlos Avila's got good speed, but just didn't quite have enough to stop Gagne from scoring that point. So 15-8 the score. Wright's going to get the ball, make it 15-9. Gagne to Simard. Oh, Gagne loses the ball. Avila tries to get back for it, but Gagne picks it up in time. Gagne trapped by Wright. And Simard now with the ball. He's being held by Dudsits and Wright. Simard, can he pass it out? Simard very close to the center line, but he manages to break free. Simard, the pass, Mastin with it. Mastin over to Gagne, and another point with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Dudsits with the ball. Passes into Wright now over to Weishadel, Lacoste, and Mastin. Gagne with the ball. Turnover for Quebec. Simard. Mastin with the ball, and he's going to score another. 17-9 the score. Gagne giving chase, and I think he's just going to let that one roll out. Nobody touched the ball after 10 seconds, so we're going to bring it back to your left. And Quebec will take the ball, looking to increase their lead. They're already up by 8. Simard for Quebec. Just holding on to the ball for a few moments. 2.5 minutes left to go in the half. Simard to Mastin. He gets over the line, but he managed to grab the ball before he went over the line. So 18-9 the score. And Quebec really, again, just starting to assert themselves here. Really kind of pushing out that lead. Wright passes over to Avila. Nicely done. Avila trapped by Gagne and Mastin. He passes out to Dudsits, who takes it in. And Northeast Passage now with 10 on the board. Two minutes left to go in the first half. Quebec firmly in the lead at the moment. Mastin makes his way through for point number 19. Right. Kind of trapped there, but he finds Weishadel. He's got to hurry up to get the ball over the line. He had it stripped away. And a 12-second violation on the Wildcats gives the ball back to Quebec. And it looks like Ryan Coy is going to come back in for Mike Wright. Dave Gagne for Quebec into Mastin. Simard just trying to pick out his space in the Wildcat defense. He passes the ball. Mastin manages to grab it and then score. And Quebec now up by 10. Weishadel racing. Mastin giving chase. Is he going to be able to stop him before he gets over the line? Nope. Oh, and Mastin almost hit the wall there. He was coming in hard, trying to stop Weishadel from scoring, but was able to turn himself before slamming into the wall. Simard for Quebec. Mastin. Gagne, can he catch it before it goes out? Yes, he can. 21-11 the score, 53 seconds left in the first half. And we're going to get a 1 meter violation. And another turnover for Northeast Passage. So Quebec bringing the ball in. They have to score before running the clock out, but they're going to wind off as much time as they can here. There's about 4 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And there's about 25 seconds left on the shot clock. So they'll be holding. Samad is in no hurry to score here. He's just going to run that clock down as far as he can. He's going to want to time it and leave maybe 5 seconds left on the game clock once he's done, if he does it the way he wants to. Samad waiting, and now Samad's going to score. There are 8 seconds left on the clock. That might be enough time for Northeast Passage to get one more on the board before halftime. It is 22-11, the score. Weishadel giving chase. Mastin knocks him off. Mastin, the pass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the half. Good defense by Quebec prevents Northeast Passage from scoring another goal before halftime. We're going to take a break. Your score: Quebec 22, Northeast Passage 11. We'll be back for the second half. You're watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start the second half here of this match between the Northeast Passage Wildcats and Quebec. And Quebec right now up 22-11. You are watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage for ParaSportsLive. I am Tony Jackson. And in the first half, things were close for the first couple minutes, but Quebec really started to take control and force the Wildcats into a lot of turnovers and mistakes that they were able to capitalize on, and that is how they find themselves up by 11 as we are about to begin the third period. So back on the floor for Quebec to start the second half. Number 8, Dave Gagne. Also on the floor, number 10, Guillaume Bouchard. Also joining him on the floor, number 15, Patrice Simard. And number 11, Charles Arsenault. For the Wildcats, on the floor, number 56, Rob Serafine. Number 8, Carlos Avila. Number 34, Keenan Weishadel, and number 32, Ryan Coy. Simard trying to get the scoring opened early here in the second half. Coy slams into the back of Simard, but he makes it over the goal line. In Montreal now, excuse me, Quebec. Up 23-11. Simard, oh, he couldn't hold that ball in play. Avila with the ball for Northeast Passage. Avila just slams into his teammate, gives him the ball. It works either way. So now 23-12. Gagne, the pass to Simard. Simard trying to roll his way in backwards, but Avila right there, no problem to stop him. But we're going to get a foul. So Avila going back into the penalty area. Called for an illegal use of hand. So Arsenault with another score for Quebec. It's 24-12. Weishadel for the Wildcats. Cut off by Arsenault. The pass, too much for Avila, and Arsenault takes it for Quebec. Bouchard slams into Coy. Hits Arsenault, trying to get that ball. Simard for Quebec. Play is stopped momentarily, and the officials are talking to the scorekeepers over there. Not quite sure what the conversation's about. Something to do with the scoreboard. Well, either way, it's been resolved. Play is resumed. Avila for the Wildcats. The pass over to it's behind Coy. Arsenault takes the pass. Quebec. Arsenault loses the ball. Avila and Gagne fighting for the ball, but Gagne backs over the line. And now Montreal just continue to increase their lead. 26-12 the score. Brian Coy trying to get one back for the Wildcats. 26-13. Samad makes his way through. Seraphine tries to hold off Samad, but he passes right over to Gagne. No problem for Quebec. Weishadel gets knocked out of bounds. Good play by Gagne. And Weishadel going to come out in place of Mike Wright, who will take over for him. Good defense by Gagne, though, pushing Weishadel out of bounds and winning possession for his team. So now Quebec looking to increase their lead again. Simard for Quebec. And we're going to get an illegal use of hands on Ryan Coy. He's going to go sit in the penalty area for a minute. So Gagne will throw it in for Quebec. Arsenault almost loses the ball, and he does. He could hold it on his shoulder, but Gagne is right there for his teammate. Long pass over to Samad is point 28 for Quebec. Quebec up by 15 as they lead 28-13. Avila for Northeast Passage gets slammed into by Arsenault, but he passes out to Wright. Can Wright grab it before he goes over the line? He does in plenty of time. It's now 28-14. Gagne down the near sideline here, racing down the floor, held off by Coy. Done. And now Gagne surrounded by Wildcats, trying to hold onto the ball. He's got options to pass, but can he get it away? And no, he can't. It looks like Mike Wright is going to call for an illegal use of hands here. Just caught the forearm of Gagne. So he's going to take a break in the penalty area for a few moments as Montreal look to score their 29th. Seraphine just bats that one away. Trying to get around Avila, and he's helped out by his teammate there. Nicely done by Patrice Samad. And Arsenault scores for Quebec. 29-14 the score. 4.5 minutes left to go in the third. And another turnover for Northeast Passage as Samad passes over to Gagne. And we've got a tire that needs to be replaced. Mike Wright is the one. So we're going to take a quick pause in the action for just a moment. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching the ParaSportsLive presentation of this wheelchair rugby tournament. We hope you're enjoying all of the coverage that you've been watching throughout the day. Seraphine into right. Coy for the Wildcats, trying to make a push up the floor. Coy stopped by Asano, and now the pass to Wright. Wright gets it before Gagne, and we're going to get a foul on. It looks like Guillaume Bouchard is going to get called for a foul. He ended up chopping Mike Wright, so he's going to go sit for a few moments. We're going to get a couple substitutions. Gagne, Arsenault coming off. Mastin Lacoste coming back on. And it is now 30-15. Quebec. Somehow being held by Seraphine and Avila. Oh, and he almost loses the ball, but he passes over to Mastin. Mastin has to hurry up and get over the line, and they're not going to get it. So that is a 12-second violation on Quebec. A rare turnover, but good job by Northeast Passage to cause that and give themselves an opportunity to trim this lead just a little bit. They're down by 15 right now. So now Rob Seraphine for the Wildcats passes it into Wright, who will start the attack. Wright finds a space, gets around, and gets through. 30-16. Mastin for Quebec in a little bit of trouble. He loses the ball. Sima just following his teammate. Now the pass to Mastin, and the Wildcats looking to put another one on the board here. Avila with the ball. Avila working his way through the Quebec defenders, but he gets stopped. Mike Wright with the ball now. Wright just trying to outrace Quebec, and he does. 31-16 the score. Mastin takes the ball for Quebec. Coy and Avila both looking to stop Mastin, but Mastin just a little bit pace. Coy looking to go long to Avila, but he passes off to Wright. And Wright calls a timeout. Seraphine sends it into Weishadel. Weishadel still in. Oh, Weishadel very close to going out, but he manages to stay in bounds and passes it to right over the line for Northeast Passage. It's now 32-17. Mastin over to Samad. Patrice Samad trying to get around Avila. Avila just gives him a bump. 33-17. Quebec. Right, looking for Weishadel, and he's got him. Keegan Weishadel being blocked out, and it looks like Samad went over the line. It is going to be a point for the Wildcats. 33-18 the score now. So now Patrice Samad racing down 34-18. Avila, oh, he tried to go behind Bouchard. I think he could have just probably gone straight in. I think maybe he just wanted to say hello. It's 34-19 now. Score now 35-19. Avila being defended quite toughly by the Quebec team, but Wright takes the ball right over the line. We're going to get a substitution for Quebec. Let's see. Oh, I thought Mastin, excuse me, on the coast, I thought she was coming off, but that's not the case. She's actually going to throw the ball. Third period. Weishadel still holding on to the ball. Avila, he's got 8 seconds left to score. And he does. 17 seconds left in this third period. (36-22). Samad rolling down the floor, weaving his way through, passes to Mastin, and that is a point for Quebec. (37-22). The pass in from Seraphine to Weishadel. Weishadel thought about passing, couldn't get good positioning to pass the ball down the floor, and that's going to be the end of the third period. We'll take a break. When we come back, the fourth and final period of this match between Quebec and Northeast Passage. You're watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the fourth and final period of this match between Quebec and Northeast Passage for ParaSportsLive. I am Tony Jackson, and the score is 37-21. Quebec leading Northeast Passage. So now Dudesitz sends it into Coy. Ryan Coy. Blocked off by Arsenault. Coy trying to find his way through somewhere. Weishadel clears a space for him. And now Northeast Passage down by 15. Quebec have done really well in this match to force turnovers. And speaking of turnovers, going the other way, Northeast Passage now taking advantage of a turnover. 2 quick points for the Wildcats, brings the score to 37-23. So perhaps maybe I should stop singing the praises of Quebec. Arsenault now racing down the floor, getting past Weishadel. 38-23 the score. Nice pass in from Dudesitz to Coy, and Seraphine now for the Wildcats. Passes over to Weishadel, who is blocked momentarily by Arsenault. Mastine races in to cut off Weishadel. Dudesitz now for the Wildcats, trying to push his way through. He can't do it. Keenan Weishadel making his way around Mastine, holds him off. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Can he score? And Weishadel gets through. (38-24). Quebec leading. Mastine takes the ball. The pass to Gagne is off the mark, but Gagne recovers. And Gagne loses the ball. Dudesitz, nicely done for the Wildcats. Oh, and that ball just dribbles off of Coy. You can see he's a little frustrated there. Just mishandled the transfer. And so now Quebec get the ball back. Back to Gagne. Gagne puts up number 39 for Quebec. Seraphine, it's blocked off by Arsenault, but he's the last one to touch it, so that's going to be a throw-in for the Wildcats. So no, Rob Seraphine going to start up the action again for Northeast Passage. Ryan Coy trying to get around the Quebec defense, and he does. Good job by Robbie Dudesitz. Dave Gagne for Quebec. Just going to race down the floor and put up number 40. Long pass down the floor for Weishadel, can he catch it before it goes out? Yes, he does. Nicely done, Keenan Weishadel. Northeast Passage now with 26. Good job by the Wildcats here to defend, but nicely done as Mastin finds Gagne, who's going to break free. Gagne just going to hold on to the ball for a moment, kill off a few seconds from the clock. Quebec up 41-26. Weishadel. Oh, that was very close to going over the center line, but he managed to pass it away beforehand. So Ryan Coy now for the Wildcats. Nine seconds left for them to score, and Keenan Weishadel takes the pass from Coy. 41-27 the score. 4:52 left in the match. Arsenault chasing the ball. Looks like he's going to get there, but 10 seconds with no touch of the ball, so that's a turnover in favor of the Wildcats. Gagne over the line. He's going to go out and sit for a penalty. So now Seraphine for the Wildcats. Going to try to take advantage of this opportunity to bring their score up a little bit more. 1 point for the Wildcats, 41-28. Gagne back into the match. And it looks like Gagne is going to be the one to throw in. Mastin. (42-28) Quebec. Weishadel takes the ball, long pass from Coy, nicely done. Now the pass back to Coy. Coy looking to get around the Quebec defense. Ryan Coy, nicely done. Good move to weave his way through. 42-28 the score. Mastin makes it 43 for Quebec. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout from Northeast Passage. And Quebec are going to make a couple changes here. 4:07 left in the match. Quebec leading Northeast Passage 43-29. Our next match coming up, the Northeast Passage Wildcats white team versus Montreal. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Right. Trying to race through the Quebec defense, and he does. 43-30. And Northeast Passages cut that lead down a little bit. It was up to 20 at one point. Now they're only down by 13. Mastine gets one back for Quebec. Avila has to call timeout. He's trapped. He didn't really have any passing options. I mean, Seraphine was open, but I don't think Avila saw him in time, so he called a timeout, and we're going to get a change of possession here. So Montreal's going to take the ball. Perhaps that was a 10-second violation on Avila, but either way, Quebec with the ball. And Quebec score again. It's 44-30. Right, being held up, and he loses the ball. Again, good defense by Quebec. Arsenault to Simard. Simard over to Mastine. 45-30. Quebec bring their lead back out to 15. Right, just going to take it down for the Wildcats. 45-31 the score. Simard for Quebec. Just following Arsenault down the floor. Nicely done by Charles Arsenault. Oh, and a low pass by Dutsits, but Avila still manages to hold the ball. Right, just pops it over everybody, but Simard is right there to take it away. Patrice Simard passes over to Mastine. 47-31. .221 left to go in the match. Mike Wright for the Wildcats, trying to get around Mastini does. The pass to Seraphine. Rob Seraphine, can he get there beforehand? I don't think he's going to make it. He seemed like he already kind of knew that he wasn't going to make it, so he didn't really push too hard to get there. So a turnover in favor of Quebec. Mastine trying to get around Wright, and he does. Avila collides into Mastine, but the pass over to Arsenault gives Quebec point number 48. And it looks like Robbie Dutsits left the court, or Avila, one of those two. Couldn't quite tell from this angle here, but either way, it's a turnover in favor of Quebec. 1:49 to go in the match. There's a goal for Quebec. It's 49-31. Right. Getting around the defense and going in for point number 32. 1:15 left to go in this match. The long pass to Simad. He's right there for it. And Quebec have reached the 50 mark in this contest. Avila over to Dutsits. The pass to Wright. And we've got a pop tire. And it looks like Wright has lost another one, so we're going to have a quick pause in the action. 55 seconds left to go. Quebec lead 50-32. And after a quick change out, Mike Wright is ready to go once again. Dude sits now with the ball. Dude sits looking to pass. Somebody else lost a tire, and it looks like Mike Wright once again. This time his right tire went out. And Wright's 45 seconds to go. Seraphine with the ball. He can't control it before he goes over the line. The referee says he does, though, so that is going to be a point for Northeast Passage. It's 50-33. Looked like he didn't quite control it before going over, but he did. So the lead 17 for Quebec, 32 seconds to go. Mastin, Avila tried to stop him, but Mastin, too much momentum. So point number 51 for Quebec. Oh, and Avila almost goes over again, but Seraphine was there to hold him up. Pass out to Dutsits, who can't control it. Can he get there? He tried to block off Bouchard. Samad comes in and picks it up for Quebec. And that pass off of Avila. That ball goes out of play. It is going to be a throw-in for Quebec with 3 seconds left to go. And the ball passed in to Coy. And they're just going to hold off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the match. Quebec led the entire way. Northeast Passage struggling to find any rhythm on offense, and that Quebec defense really did a number on them today. So the final score here, 51-33. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Montreal versus Northeast Passage Wildcats white team. You're watching the 2017 Kennebunk Savings Rugby Rampage.